Good morning. It's early Tuesday morning, and just wanted to mention a couple things about the sermon on Saturday. Mostly, we talked about the fact that there is only one God. No one else is even close to being in the ballpark of one God. And there's a book by A.W. Tozer, a couple of them I'd recommend actually, one called Knowledge of the Holy and one called The Pursuit of God. And you can just Google those and read them online. I'm pretty sure they're old, been around forever. But great theologian, and he talks about in one of his books that the proof that there's only one God, he said, if we serve a sovereign God, if we believe in a sovereign God, that means he knows absolutely everything. He doesn't need anyone's permission to do anything. He doesn't have to ask somebody. He doesn't have to bend his will to anyone. Well, you can't really believe in two sovereign gods because they couldn't coexist. It would be impossible for those two deities to both be sovereign. They would both have to know absolutely everything. They would both have to be able to do whatever they wanted to. They'd have to both be completely free. And not even from a biblical standpoint, just when you start looking at it logistically, you realize that there can only be one ultimate creator, one deity that's truly God. So I just thought that was good. I thought I'd pass that along. And also I want to remind you that this week I'm challenging all of us to worship the one true God, to spend time in prayer every day, whether it's in the morning or before you go to bed or whatever, but just to spend 10 minutes just worshiping the God, for worshiping our God for who He is. This morning I was, as I was praying and just thinking about how creative God was, and I prayed to Him. I said, Lord, there are planets with mountains and valleys and sunrises and clouds and stuff that we will never see. His creativity is so far beyond us and so far beyond what we know. So as you know, this new series we just started last week, we're going to be in for a while, and we're just talking about worship. And of course last week we talked about who we worship, which is the one true God. And this week we're going to talk about how we worship, and mostly just talking about worshiping with reckless abandon, just letting God have everything, not just in the four walls of a church where people meet, but really in our lives. We live in such a crazy way that people notice, and they wonder why we do what we do. So that's this Saturday night. Please come hang out with us. I know there's a few families that are out camping this week, but we're going to have a good time and have some good worship. So we hope to see you there.